Welcome to the reading of Divide the Living Child on September 12th, 2021. I'm very, very excited about this event, and we're going to have a question and answer session afterwards, so please stay if you would like to. I was inspired to write this play when I lived in Amsterdam for 5 years in the 80s and early 90s. I was really fascinated by the history of the Jews in Holland, and they still seem to be pretty tormented by the Holocaust. And I wanted to understand their history and also how the Holocaust happened. I'm Jewish, and that seemed to be very compelling. And I think it's a very compelling subject to many human beings, Jewish and non. So I read about the Holocaust for 5 years, particularly in Holland, but all over Europe. And then I sat down to write Divide the Living Child, which has had one full production in a very, very Christian right-wing area of Ohio in Ashland University. So this was an earlier, very different version than what you're going to see today. This version and this reading is directed and produced by Heather Ondersma. Hannah is played by Eliana Gershon. Miriam is played by Renee Rogoff. Torrie is played by J.J. Van Toom. Elsie Van Nostrand is played by Paula Barish. Mika Rose is played by Bessie Zolno. These actors come from San Francisco, New York, and Israel. This is one of the wonderful benefits of Zoom. Stage directions and the webinar technician is Kiana Alexander, who actually is in North Carolina. So buckle your seatbelts, folks. And now the play.
Divide the Living Child by Terry Baum. Scene 1. The play takes place in Amsterdam in 1943 during the Nazi occupation. Lights up on a small kitchen in a small apartment. The kitchen is well worn and cozy. A small table is set for tea. Sitting at the table is Torrie van Toom. She is in her middle 50s, dressed in her best dress, which is plain and conservative. She is waiting impatiently, glancing at her watch. An area downstage of the kitchen serves as the street. 2 women and a teenage girl hurry rapidly along the street. Torrie hears the doorbell ring.
At last, I'm coming.
She rushes out the door, then returns with the 2 women and the girl.
Oh, I'm so glad you're finally here.
So am I. Miss Van Toom, I'd like to introduce you to Miriam Bergman.
Hello.
How do you do?
And this is Hannah Bergman.
Hello, Miss Van Toom.
Oh, I'm very happy to meet you, but I don't quite understand.
I know you said you only had room for one.
Yes, just one Jewish child.
Hannah is the girl you agreed to take in. She's 14 years old. Miriam is Hannah's mother.
It's very nice to meet you, Miss Van Toom.
Oh, likewise, I'm sure. But I just...
Mrs. Bergman was supposed to go into hiding somewhere else, but that fell through at the last minute. Miss Van Toom, Hannah's mother has nowhere to go right now. Can she stay here for 2 or 3 days until we find her another place?
Miss Van Toom, I will not stay here if my mother has no place to go. I simply refuse. So if you don't have room for both of us, then we'll both leave.
Oh, good heavens.
Hannah, stop it. Let Mika handle this.
Thank you, Miriam. Miss Van Toom, it's only temporary. Everything is temporary. The war will be over soon.
Of course. You can stay, Mrs.
Bergman.
Oh, Mrs. Bergman, I'm honored to give you and your daughter shelter in your hour of need.
Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Van Toom.
And I want to thank you too.
Well, the Christ child was born in a manger because Mary was told there was no room at the inn. How can I possibly say the same thing to you, Mrs. Bergman? As long as you're staying with me, I want you both to consider this house your own home.
Oh, I wish I could find a few more good Christians like you, Miss Van Toom. Here are the extra ration cards. Hannah, this is your new identity. Miriam, Hannah is too Jewish sounding. I changed her name.
Good. I was worried about that.
Too Jewish?
From this moment forward, you are Helen Van Toom. Miss Van Toom. Now, remember what we decided. Helen is your cousin's daughter. Her parents were killed in the bombing of Rotterdam, and you both need to work her history out in detail and memorize it so that if you're interrogated, you'll agree on the details.
Oh, dear.
Don't be shy about introducing Helen to people. Treat her like your niece. If you act like there's something wrong with her, it will arouse people's suspicions. And Helen, you need to be friendly to everyone, but not too friendly. You don't want to get too close with anybody. No best friend, no matter how much you want it. Best friends are dangerous. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
And what about Mrs. Bergman? Who is she supposed to be?
It's only for a few days. She'll stay in the house. Now, where can Mrs. Bergman hide?
She has to hide?
Well, yes, if someone comes, she does.
Oh, well, of course. This is my living room.
Mika looks through the doorway at the living room.
Miss Van Toom, do you usually keep your front curtains closed?
Of course not. Everyone keeps their curtains open.
Then why are they closed now?
Well, of course, because... Oh, I see what you mean.
I recommend that you keep your curtains open all the time. Go open them right now. Show your niece your view. Stand in front of the window for a bit. Tell Hannah about the neighborhood. Give all your nosy neighbors a chance to see you together.
Come along, dear.
Hannah and Torrie exit to the living room.
Miriam, you stay out of that room.
Of course. Mika, how can we get in contact with you if we need...
You can't. But I'll be dropping by now and then to check on you.
Now and then? But I'm just going to be here a few days.
It might be longer. A lot longer. Miss Van Toom seems like a very nice, hospitable lady.
Yes, she does, but she was just expecting Hannah.
You have to make it work out, Miriam. I don't know when or even if I can find you another...
Hannah and Torrie return.
Miss Van Toom, do you mind if I look in your bedroom?
Oh, of course not.
Mika exits to the bedroom.
Mama, the canal is just half a block away.
And if you stick your head out the window and look to the right, you can see it. Can't you?
I can't believe it. We've always wanted to live with a canal view.
There was a lady across the way who waved to us.
Oh, that's Elsie Van Nostrand. She's a member of my church. Very friendly.
Mika returns from the bedroom.
Miss Van Toom, you've got a very deep closet in your bedroom, which is perfect. I'm going to send some of our people to build a false wall in the back with enough space for Miriam behind it.
Oh, good heavens. Is that necessary?
I'm sorry to say it is, in case the apartment is searched. But you won't have to find a new place for your dresses and coats. An empty closet in Amsterdam would be extremely suspicious. Miriam, you'll need to practice getting behind the false wall so you can do it as rapidly as possible. If a friendly visitor comes, you don't need to go behind the wall. You can just hide behind all the coats.
All right. Thank you, Mika, for all this trouble.
You're welcome.
Oh, dear, it's going to be pitch black in there.
Which happens to be a highly prized quality in a hiding place. I congratulate you, Miss Van Toom, on your dark, deep closet.
Mika, don't you think even though it says Helen on my identity card, I can tell everyone my nickname is Hannah?
Oh, no, I don't think so.
But what if someone calls me Helen and I don't answer? They'll get suspicious.
You'll remember to answer after a day or so. They'll just think you're shy at first.
But I'm Hannah. That's who I am.
Of course you are. You'll always be Hannah to yourself and to me. But to the world, you have to be Helen. You don't have any choice.
Helen. It's an awful name.
I think it's quite lovely.
There you are. Miss Van Toom likes it.
But I don't.
Now listen, my dear little Miss Helen Van Toom. People have died and people have killed so that you could have this beautiful identity card without a great big J for Jewish stamped on it. This is your chance for survival, Helen. Yes, that's your new name, and Helen has to be tough. Helen has to use her head. You have to let go of something you love, something you thought you'd have for your whole life in order to survive. It's terrible, but now it's necessary.
You're right, Mika. I'm sorry.
I have no use for sorry in my work. Just use your head.
Don't worry. I will.
That's my girl. I know you can do this. And now I've got to be going.
You can't stay for tea.
Tea sounds wonderful, but I simply don't have time, Miss Van Toom. You are a gem, a treasure, a saint.
Oh, no, I'm a poor sinner. But I must do something in these terrible times.
Well, you're the nicest sinner I've met in a long time, but I must say goodbye.
Oh, to think that you don't have time for a cup of tea when you're risking your life.
As are you. Goodbye, Miss Van Toom. Goodbye, Miriam.
Goodbye, and again, thank you.
And again, you're welcome. Helen, you must be strong and cautious.
I will, Mika. I promise.
I believe you. Goodbye.
Mika exits.
Now let me see. Since Mrs. Bergman isn't allowed in the living room, perhaps you both should share the bedroom and I'll sleep in the living room.
Oh, we can't possibly throw you out of your own bed.
Oh, it's only for a few days. Besides, when my parents were alive, I slept in the living room every night. Oh, it'll be like old times.
Were you an only child, like Hannah?
Why, yes. I've lived my whole life right here in this apartment, first with my mother and father, and then for the last 10 years alone.
What was your father like?
Oh, he repaired watches for a living. I loved to sit by his side while he worked. So he taught me how to do it, and now that's my profession.
My father died when I was 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mama's not sorry. She's glad that Papa's not around to see what we've come to.
I don't know if you can understand, Miss Van Toom, how you can be glad that someone you love isn't alive.
Oh, yes, Mrs. Bergman. I've thought the very same thing about my parents, and they weren't even Jewish.
Mama's a working woman, like you.
And what kind of work do you do?
I'm a painter.
Oh, an artist. I'm very impressed.
Oh, just little watercolors, street scenes. I sold them in shops here and there. I'd like to...
She hands a small framed picture to Torrie.
A little present.
Oh, it's lovely.
Oh, it's nothing.
It's not nothing, Mama. It's your favorite watercolor.
It's nothing compared to what Miss Van Toom has just given me.
Oh, the canal and the light coming through the trees. Lovely.
Do you recognize it, Miss Van Toom? It's of a corner right near here.
Why, yes. Now that you mention it, I do. It's just one block that way, isn't it?
That's right.
Well, we'll hang it right here. Helen, are you going to be a painter too when you grow up?
Oh, no. I'm not artistic like Mama.
You have a beautiful voice.
I love to sing, Miss Van Toom.
Now you must call me Aunt Torrie from now on. That's very important, little lamb.
Oh, yes, of course. You're my long-lost Aunt Torrie.
And you're my long-lost Helen.
How nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for coming to grace my life. And now, let's have some tea.
Miss Van Toom.
Now you must call me Torrie, and I'll call you...
Miriam.
Miriam.
Please let me help you, Torrie.
After what you've been through today, nonsense. Sit down, Miriam, and rest.
That's very kind of you.
Torrie brings out food and drink.
Oh, look, Mama, our favorite poppy seed crackers.
Well, it wouldn't matter what it was. It would all taste delicious because it comes from you, Torrie.
Oh, well, now such a fuss. I'm not used to it. As my honored guest, Miriam, would you like to say grace?
Yes, I would. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam motzi lechem min haaretz. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has brought forth bread from the earth.
And poppy seed crackers, too.
Yes, but I don't know how to say that in Hebrew.
Hebrew spoken in my house, the language of the Bible and of our Savior. What a precious gift.
Lights fade. Scene 2. Miriam is setting the table for tea. She is talking to God, looking up.
Holy One, look at me. I'm setting the table, just like a normal person. I thought I'd be hiding in a hole in the ground. Oh, I've got a table. I've got a kitchen. I've got food in the cupboards. I've got a daughter in school. Thank you, Holy One, for giving me a table to set. You've finally done us a favor by sending us here. An enormous favor. And it's about time. I was beginning to get a little impatient with you.
Hannah enters.
How was it? Tell me everything.
Oh, it's so good to be back in this beautiful kitchen.
Your first day at school. Tell me.
Mama, I've been thinking, maybe it would be better if I just stayed in the house like you.
What happened at school?
Mama, do you think the hiding place in the closet is big enough for two?
Paula, is anyone suspicious? Tell me.
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
That's good. That's good.
My hands, Mama. Sometimes they shake so much I can't write.
It's your first day at a new school. Anyone would be nervous.
And when I hear Helen and I say yes, I feel like I'm dying, Mama. I don't know if I can do this.
I know you can do it.
How do you know?
Because I know you. You're smart. You learn fast. You're a very good judge of people.
Mika didn't think I was so smart when I made that stupid fuss about my new identity card.
You learned a lesson from Mika that you'll never forget. You can do this, Hannah. I have total confidence in you.
Say my name again.
What?
Mama, please. Say my name. Hannah. Hannah.
Hannah. Hannah, Hannah, Hannah. Hannah, Hannah, my little Hannah, my darling, my Hannah, my sweet, my Hannah. I know what you're doing is very hard. But isn't it nice to walk around freely? For the first time since the Germans invaded?
Helen is free. But Hannah's scared to death.
Ah, but both of you can sit on a bench and look at the sky.
We did that on the way home.
Oh, I envy you.
Helen looked at the ducks in the canal. Hannah looked up at the clouds and knew that the sun was setting behind them, and soon it would be the Sabbath, the first Sabbath without Grandma and Grandpa. And we don't even know where they are.
Mika told us they're in a very safe place. But I know, it's very strange, a Sabbath without them.
I want to ask Aunt Torrie if we can do something.
No, Hannah, we are guests in a Christian home.
This is our home too. Aunt Torrie said so.
That was very kind of her, but no.
She's coming. I hear her in the hall. Aunt Torrie! Just the person we were hoping would come up the stairs.
Oh, my goodness. Tea already laid out. What a treat.
It's the least I can do.
Your first day at school. How did it go, dear heart?
It went very well, didn't it, Hannah?
I think so. All my teachers seemed to believe I was really your niece.
Well, of course they did. And the other students?
They were friendly, I guess.
This is turning out to be easy.
Aunt Torrie, how was your day?
My day? Too boring.
Tell us about it.
Well, just selling and repairing watches.
Tell us.
Well, since you insist, I had a difficult repair. A beautiful old pocket watch with a smashed crystal. I wanted to fix it so desperately, but I could not find a new crystal that fit, so I had to sand down an old one. Very, very delicate work. My hand was shaking. I asked Jesus for help, and I could feel him put his hand over mine.
Jesus made your hand stop shaking?
I'm sure it was all your years of experience.
And I ended up getting that crystal to fit perfectly.
Brava, Aunt Torrie!
Oh, what a fuss you make over me, little lamb. I do believe this is the first time I ever told anyone about a watch repair. What a delightful way to end a long day. Come home to the table, set for tea, chat about work, and then a nice, quiet evening before us.
Aunt Torrie, we have a favor to ask you.
Hannah?
You see, this is our first Friday night away from home. The Sabbath begins at sundown.
Hannah, I don't think...
Would you mind very much if we lit some candles and said some prayers?
A Jewish ritual in my house? Oh, well, I'm not sure.
Oh, Aunt Torrie, please. Every Friday, I'd come home from school and Mama had been cooking all day, roast chicken and challah. Well, that was before the Germans came. But even after that, it still smelled so good. And I'd clean the apartment because Mama would yell at me if I didn't. And everything sparkled and shone. We'd sing songs and prayers. We did it even if we felt terrible. And all we had was potatoes to eat. And this is the first Sabbath of my life away from home.
Well, little lamb.
We'll be quiet as mice. The Sabbath of mice.
Oh, if it means so much to you, Helen.
Oh, no, just for tonight. Let me be Hannah. Only Hannah.
Then I suppose it's all right. Hannah.
Thank you. We brought the candles and everything with us.
I suppose it's just like our Sunday.
No, it's not. We really can't do anything like work or use money or take the bus. Plus, we're commanded to have a good time, whether we feel like it or not.
Hannah runs into the bedroom and returns with 2 candles, a candlestick, and a shawl.
Mama, Aunt Torrie said yes.
What a beautiful shawl.
Papa gave this to Mama when I was born.
Oh, good. A family story.
You see, Papa wanted a boy so badly. Mama was afraid he'd be disappointed. Of course, as soon as Papa saw me, it was all right. And he ran out to buy Mama the most beautiful shawl he could find. And Mama wears it every Friday night.
Excited.
Miriam lights the candles.
Beautiful.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidishanu b'mitzvosov v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, who has sanctified us and commanded us to observe the Sabbath. Even in these dark times, we are commanded to celebrate the peace and beauty that still exist. And look how much we have to celebrate. We're safe in the lovely home of our new friend.
Our new friend who is a great watch repairer.
Oh, well now.
A great watch repairer and a woman of courage. Hanala, why don't you say the blessing over the bread? And I think you'd better wear the shawl to do it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Aunt Torrie, I've never worn it before.
I'm honored to be present at this very important moment.
Hanala, say the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Tonight, we remember everyone we love, and we hope that the Holy One is watching over them.
We know that the Holy One watches over them.
That's right. We know it, just as he is watching over us. Tonight, we put away our fear.
Beautiful, Hannah. Torrie, can we sing if we do it very softly?
Oh, yes.
Hannah, you choose.
Chine matovu manayim. That means how good it is for all people to live together in peace.
Lovely. Just lovely.
And let's dance, but softly like mice.
Yes, let's dance.
Miriam and Hannah begin to dance as they softly sing, holding hands. They invite Torrie to dance with them. Miriam stands back as Hannah teaches Torrie the steps. Lights fade. Scene 3. Torrie and Elsie von Nostrin are sitting at the table.
Well, Torrie, you haven't had me over since your niece arrived. I haven't even met this girl.
Oh, Elsie, you know how it is with extra people in the house.
People? I thought you had just one.
You know what I mean. I've been so busy.
Well, it's no way to treat your old friend. Ever since my husband died, we've hardly gone 2 days without a chat. Now you're hiding from me. Why, you even closed your curtains the other day.
Well, maybe for a minute or two. Elsie, why don't we go over to your apartment?
Nonsense. We always meet in this old kitchen. Oh, I see you've been fixing it up.
I have.
Well, that's a new picture over there, isn't it?
She points to the watercolor by Miriam.
Oh, yes.
Where did that come from?
You see, Helen brought it with her.
Oh, really? It's very nice.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Elsie, stop staring at the wall and come sit down.
Well, I'd love to have this in my kitchen. No, I'd put it in the living room.
Elsie, would you please sit down? Did you come to visit me or my walls?
Torrie, you've never spoken to me like that before.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I have got a little headache.
Just a little one? You're lucky. Now tell me, where did Helen get that painting? I just love it. I'm going right out and get one just like it.
Well, she didn't get it anywhere.
So she did it herself?
Yes, she did.
Think of that. Well, she's very talented. Where is this talented new niece? I can't wait to meet her.
Well, she's still at school.
I never did understand how she's related to you.
Well, she's actually my second cousin's niece. I mean daughter. She's my niece. Well, not really my niece, but in a way she is. Her parents were killed in the Rotterdam.
Oh, yes. But Rotterdam was bombed almost 3 years ago. Who'd she stay with after that? And how did she come to stay with you?
Oh, you see, I feel she was sent by God to brighten my life. Can you imagine? After all these lonely years, I have a daughter. Sometimes when I wake up in the middle of the night, I hear her breathing in the other room, and I'm so happy.
Oh, Torrie, for so long I've been looking across the way and seeing you sitting here alone in your living room. And now I see you laughing and talking with Helen.
She's the most wonderful girl in the world. And I hear her coming now.
Mama, my, Aunt Torrie, you have a visitor.
Helen, dear heart, I want you to meet Elsie Van Nostrand, my dear friend. She's dropped by to say hello, but she can only stay a minute.
Not true, Torrie. I've got all afternoon.
Hello, Mrs. Van Nostrand. I'm very glad to meet you.
And I am delighted to finally meet the mysterious niece from Rotterdam. How are you liking your new home?
Very much.
Helen, I was just telling your aunt that I love that little painting.
What painting?
The one right over there. Maybe after we get to know each other, you'll do something like that for me someday? What's the matter? Did I say something wrong?
Dear heart, I told Elsie that you'd painted that.
Oh, I just don't like to brag about what I do.
Oh, well, no reason to be shy about it, Helen. I wish I had that much talent. I'm so dull. And how old are you?
14.
Amazing. Amazing to paint like that at your age.
I told you she was wonderful.
I used to walk around Rotterdam and sit on a bench and paint.
Well, I'd just love to have a little watercolor like that for my living room. Would you make one for me?
Oh, of course I will. Although I don't paint much anymore.
Oh, but I'm your auntie's best friend. Surely you could make
Now
it.
I like to sing.
Oh, she has a lovely voice.
I sang in the school choir in Rotterdam.
Did you? Helen, where did you live?
On Mullerstraat?
Oh, yes. I'm very familiar with that area. I lived in Rotterdam when I was first married.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
There's a very famous bakery right around the corner from your street. I'm sure you bought pastries there.
Of course.
I was young then. I trotted over to that bakery every day. What was the name of it? I can't remember.
I don't remember either.
Oh, well, never mind. They made a very special cake at that bakery. Wasn't it chocolate with layers of cream and nuts on top? What was that pastry called?
Actually, I must admit, Mrs. Van Nostrand, that I don't like to talk about life in Rotterdam.
No, she doesn't.
It's just too painful to remember things like bakeries and chocolate cakes.
That's right.
It all reminds me of my family, and it's all gone forever. I don't even want to think about it.
So true.
Oh, Helen, I'm sorry if I upset you. Torrie, she's very sensitive.
Oh, yes, terribly sensitive.
Well, Helen, if you love singing so much, you should join the church choir. We have an excellent choir master, don't we, Torrie? I'm surprised you haven't been to church yet.
Oh, dear.
What's the matter, Torrie?
My headache, it's gotten worse.
You'll be all right. Torrie, why don't you bring Helen to church?
Oh, my head.
You see, Mrs. Van Nostrand, my family wasn't very religious, so I've never been to church.
Never? What were your parents, communists?
Yes.
Oh, you poor child. Torrie, you're responsible for this girl's salvation now, and goodness knows we can always use another good voice in the choir. Bring her on Sunday.
Elsie, I don't want to be inhospitable, but I have a terrible headache, and I'm going to have to ask you to leave. I need to lie down immediately, right away. I have to lie down right now.
You need any aspirin?
No.
Helen, do give a little thought to making a painting for me.
She will. Oh, she will. Oh, my.
Just a small one?
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Torrie practically pushes Elsie out the door. Miriam comes out of bedroom.
Mama, were you in the closet?
Listen, Hannah, If you ever have to hide like that, just close your eyes and sing a song to yourself. Hina Matov. That's a good one.
Miriam stuck behind all those dusty coats.
It's all right.
Did you hear what Elsie said?
I couldn't hear a thing.
She asked me why I hadn't brought Helen to church. And yesterday the butcher asked the same thing.
Well, it seems like the whole neighborhood is keeping track of Hannah's spiritual education.
Well, the church is the center of my life. I've been teaching Sunday school since I was 17. I told you she should have gone with me last Sunday. Why wouldn't I bring my niece if she really is my niece?
Hannah, next Sunday you're going to church with Aunt Torrie.
What a treat. Oh.
All right, I'll go, but I won't listen to anything the minister says.
Hannah, you're going to church to convince everyone you're a real Christian.
Well, Miriam, if she acts too interested in the minister's sermon, she won't be a very convincing Christian at all. I mean to say, he's a good man, but sometimes he does go on. Oh, but your mother's right, Helen.
I don't want to forget I'm a Jew.
You won't. You're performing the role of a Christian. That's not the same as actually believing.
That's true.
They can never control your heart, no matter what they do.
But I look too...
Nonsense. You don't look Jewish at all.
I hate the way I look. My nose and my lips. I'm ugly.
Oh, for goodness sake.
She exits to the bedroom and returns with a small mirror.
Hannah, almost every girl your age thinks she's ugly. Christian girls do too. But you're very pretty. And Torrie is right. You don't look Jewish.
Look at yourself. Just look. You think there is some mysterious Jewish quality about you? Nonsense. You could easily have been born a Christian.
I see a Jew.
Dear heart, wait. This cross. This will help you feel comfortable in church.
She takes a cross that was hanging around her neck and puts it on Hannah.
There.
Oh. It helps, Mama.
When you play a role, you wear a costume.
That cross looks lovely on you, and it will remind you of Christ's love for you. Little lamb, you'll have such a good time in my Sunday school class. My students have been asking all about you.
When you play a role, you wear a costume.
You'd better learn a few hymns before Sunday.
All right.
Now, this is one of my favorites. Onward, Christian soldiers, marching as to war, with the cross of Jesus.
Lights fade as organ music swells. Scene 4. Miriam is alone, talking to God.
Holy One, don't you look at me that way. Did you really think I would stop her from going to church today? That was an easy decision. Easy. Now, what shall I do to pass the time while my daughter is learning how to bow to false idols? I'll make that damn watercolor for that damn nosy neighbor. And what about you? You're not exactly doing your part, are you? Couldn't you have made it pour today? How hard would it have been to order a cloudburst with lightning and howling winds? It would have been some consolation. But oh no, on the first day she goes to church, all of a sudden after weeks of rain and gloom, the sun comes out. The birds sing. It's beautiful. Hallelujah. Well, thank you very much. I thought you at least still had some say over the weather. Apparently not. As a matter of fact, as far as I'm concerned, you can make it rain every day until this damn war is over. That would make it infinitely easier to stay trapped in this apartment. This is awful. I can't paint from imagination. I need to go outside and see. I can't see enough. I haven't seen the sky since I came here. When was that? How long ago? I don't remember. Oh, I have to see the sky.
She starts looking through the cupboards, opening jars and drawers. Finally, she finds a set of keys.
Aha!
Miriam exits into the bedroom.
Ah, here you are.
Miriam returns with a coat. She smells it.
You smell like freedom, like the breeze. Oh, like water, the sky, the linden trees. Only a 10-minute walk, Holy One. You'll protect me, won't you? Just long enough to make one little picture for Mrs. Van... What's her name? Please, please, I have to.
She exits through the outer door. Silence. After a few moments, Miriam bursts back in. She locks the door.
I couldn't. I just couldn't do it. They take a little piece of you here, a little piece of you there. And each time you say, all right, it's not so terrible. Yes. It's nice to have 10 fingers. But 8 is good too. Also 6. And then you find yourself saying, really, when you get right down to it, 2 hands are an unnecessary luxury. And then they come to you and say, we'd like your feet now. Fine. Fine. Take my feet. After all, it's not so much fun going out anyhow. In fact, if you don't mind, I'll just crawl into this little box here. I'll lie here ever so quietly. And you go blind lying in that box. But at least you survive. No hands, no eyes, no feet. But you're alive.
Lights crossfade to suggest the passing of time. Torrie and Hannah enter.
Well, how did it go at the church?
Everyone was very friendly, went out of their way to say hello, told me how happy they were for me.
Happy? Why?
Oh, well, they know how much I love children, how I've always wanted to have one of my own.
I'm not a child.
Oh, no, but I love you anyhow. And so does Jesus.
That's not what the minister said.
Oh, you mustn't take him too literally. I told you, he gets carried away. It's easy to misunderstand him.
All right. What did the minister say?
Mama, the choir sounded so good. I met the choir master and he asked me to join. I'm so excited.
I'm very happy for you, Hannah. Now tell me, what was the minister's sermon about?
Oh, I bet she doesn't remember any of it.
Yes, I do. He said that it was terrible what was happening to the Jews, but it was unavoidable. since we never accepted Jesus as the Son of God.
But remember, Helen, he was very sad about it.
Yes, very sad.
I don't know what got into the minister. I never heard him say anything like that before. Oh, well, maybe once or twice, but not like that. I'm sure he doesn't mean it in the way it sounds. You know, these days people have to be very careful of what they say, or they'll end up in very hot water themselves. He's such a good man, really, he is.
And what do you think of all of this, Hannah?
I think I have to do this every week, no matter what I think. But it's like you said, Mama, they can never touch my soul.
Yes, Hannah, that's the only power you have. Your soul is your own.
And the music in church, Mama. The music is so beautiful.
Lights fade. Scene 5. Torrie and Hannah are downstage on the street.
You know, I'm sure that every time I go shopping, it takes me longer. Imagine having to go to 4 different shops just to find potatoes.
Lucky you have me to scout around.
Oh, I don't know what I'd do without your help.
I'm not lazy, am I?
Lazy? Whatever gave you that idea?
One of the girls in the choir said Jews were lazy. Why do you think she said that to me? Do you think she suspects?
Oh, shh.
Maybe everyone can tell when they look at me that
Shh. Oh, here comes Mrs. Van Nostrand.
Hello, you two. Now don't run away from me.
Oh, Elsie, how can you say such a thing?
Well, it seems like I'm always seeing you out of the corner of my eye, and then you're gone.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
How's my watercolor coming, Helen?
I'm working on it, Mrs. Van Nostrand. Really, I am. I want to make it especially beautiful because it's for you.
Oh, I can't wait until it's finished. Oh, Helen, I wanted to ask you something. I was talking to Annie at church, and I mentioned that your parents had been communist. Well, it turns out her sister is too. And Annie wants to know what kind of communist your parents were so she can ask her sister if she knew them.
My parents?
Yes.
Well, they were just the normal kind of communists.
Well, I don't think there is a normal kind. There are all these factions, and they all hate each other.
My parents didn't talk about it much, so I don't know what kind they were.
Really? Well, that's strange. I thought it was like belonging to a church. Everybody certainly knows what church their parents belong to.
Well, you see, communists don't talk about it as much as Christians do.
Elsie, I'm so tired. All this shopping, you know how exhausting it is. We simply must go after all this right now. I don't mean to be rude. You understand? Come on, Helen.
Well, goodbye then.
Torrie and Hannah push off and enter through the apartment's front door.
Now, we must be very quiet. Remember, your mother is still asleep. She told me she didn't sleep a wink last night, poor thing. Oh, she's going to be so happy when she sees we found poppy seed crackers for her.
Do you think Mrs. Van Nostrand suspects?
Oh, of course not. She's just a busybody.
I think she's trying to trip me up.
As soon as this war is over, I'll give Elsie Van Nostrand a piece of my mind that she'll never forget.
Aunt Torrie, what if she knows? What if everyone knows?
Dear heart, nobody suspects a thing. Believe me, you're doing a wonderful job. Oh, even if Elsie knew, she'd never say a word. She hates the occupation as much as I do.
People at school know. People on the street know. We can't keep it up. Mama and I have to leave.
Helen.
Don't call me Helen.
But that's your name, dear.
I'm Hannah, and I'm going to die.
Oh, my little lamb. Oh, if only your people had accepted Jesus as your savior, we wouldn't be in this terrible mess. Oh, you've reached the end of your rope, haven't you?
The bedroom door opens and Miriam comes out. She stands quietly watching them. They are unaware of her.
You don't know where to turn, do you? You're in despair. There is someone who can help you. He has always been there. He's waiting with open arms to comfort and protect you.
Nobody can protect me. Not even my mother.
No, your mother can't. But you have only to ask the Son of God, and he'll perform miracles for your sake.
Could he make Mrs. Van Nostrand leave us alone?
Oh, yes, even that, if you have faith.
Torrie, what are you doing?
Mama, Mrs. Van Nostrand suspects. I know she does. She's trying to trap me. I hate her.
Torrie, please, I beg of you. Hannah is a Jew. Right now she has to pretend, but please don't pressure her to give up who she is.
Miriam, I'm not pressuring her. I have a great treasure to share with Hannah, something that could make her life so much better. It would be a sin not to share it.
Don't you see that the whole world is on your side? Everything is pushing her in your direction. She can't possibly freely choose to be a Christian now. Wait until the war is over. What happens then?
I believe Helen and I were brought together for a reason. There is no point in waiting.
But to do this now, right in front of me?
I know it must be very hard for you, Miriam, but the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Mama, you told me that pretending would get easier. You promised me, but it's not easier, Mama. It gets harder every day. It's too hard. You promised me.
Lights fade. Scene 6. Lights up on the 3 in the kitchen. The doorbell rings. Miriam bolts into the bedroom. Hannah goes into the living room to look out the window. She returns.
It's all right, Mama. It's Mika.
Miriam re-enters. Hannah opens the front door.
Mika!
Mika, it's so good to see you.
So, how is the little lamb doing?
Oh, Helen is doing so well, Miss Rose. Everyone at church and school thinks she's just wonderful.
That's not true, Aunt Torrie. One of the girls in the chorus is mean to me.
Oh, she's probably just jealous of how beautiful and talented you are.
Don't say that, Aunt Torrie. I don't want her to be jealous of me. I don't want anybody to dislike me or like me too much or think I'm too smart or too stupid or too funny or too boring or too anything.
You're being silly, dear heart.
No, she's not. You're being very smart, Helen. Just treat that girl like everyone else. Don't let her get under your skin.
And I don't have a best friend. I don't even have any close friends.
Is that hard?
Not really. I have 2 mothers, so I'm not lonely.
Good girl. You're getting tough. Now, down to business. I've come with more ration stamps. Here, this should cover both of you for another 2 months.
2 months? Of course. Miriam, you're welcome to stay here for as long as you need to.
Thank you, Torrie.
And how are things going with you, Miriam?
I'd like to speak to Mika alone.
Helen, let's go into the bedroom and work on your Sunday school lessons.
Well,
I just want to thank you for everything you've done for me and Hannah. You risk your life for us every day.
Get to the point, Miriam.
Can you find another place for us?
For Hannah?
Someplace less Christian. Why do you laugh?
Miriam, Torrie adores Hannah and would do anything for her. She's safe here.
But Torrie's beliefs are starting to affect Hannah. Could you find another family that wasn't so religious? I want Hannah to remain a Jew.
Do you want me to move her to someplace less Christian and less safe? Then, if she gets caught, she'll remain a dead Jew.
You don't understand, do you?
Maybe I need to find another place for you.
I'm not leaving my daughter with that woman.
After all, I did tell her that you would only be here a few days. If it's not working out for the three of you...
Not working out for Hannah.
Yes, it is.
Does it matter at all to you if she stops being a Jew?
Look, Miriam...
Maybe you think it would be a good thing for her to convert.
No, I think it would be terrible. But something else matters more to me. That's her survival.
Can't my daughter keep her religion and her life?
The war will be over soon. Just hold out a little longer and everything will return to normal and you'll have Hannah to yourself again. Don't lose hope.
Hope? That's what got me into this mess. I kept hoping things would get better, or at least not worse. What an idiot I was. I should have been planning to get out of Holland any way I could. I sat in my nice little house full of hope while everything was taken away from me, everything but Hannah.
I know.
And yesterday, Hannah came back from Sunday school telling me how Jesus turned water into wine. And wasn't it wonderful? She asked me why Jews couldn't do that. She's being swallowed up in all of those fairy tales. Please, Mika, I am begging you, find another place for us both, please.
Don't beg. It doesn't do any good.
Please, I'm losing her.
I'm sorry. Truly, I am, but no.
There must be so many families who would take a child like Hannah.
You would think so, wouldn't you?
Why can't Jews turn water into wine? She said that to me. Please.
Hannah is staying with Torrie. I won't talk about this anymore.
You have no idea what it means to be a mother, do you?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Do you have a child?
He's staying with some relatives in the north on a farm.
You sent your own child away so you could help save other people's children?
I never thought of it that way, but that's how it turned out.
How could you?
How could I? I don't know. It still seems impossible to me that I actually... But it seemed the best thing for him at the time. It still does. Sometimes what is impossible is also necessary.
And it's necessary for Hannah to stay here.
Yes, it is. I'm sorry about this, Miriam.
What was it you said once? I have no use for sorry in my work?
Obviously, I was wrong. I am sorry.
Lights fade. Scene 7. Miriam and Torrie are cleaning the kitchen. Hannah rushes in.
Mama, Aunt Torrie, guess what? The choir master asked me to sing a solo.
That's wonderful.
I don't think it's so wonderful.
Why ever not?
It's not a good idea for Hannah to call attention to herself.
But Mama, it's such a beautiful hymn.
Anala, remember what Mika said. You've got to use your head. Being in the choir is one thing, but this solo is not a good idea.
But I want to sing out. Let my voice go.
You don't want anybody in the congregation to think about you too much.
That's true.
You worry all the time that people suspect something. This will just make it worse.
You're right. I don't know what I was thinking. I just wanted to be free. I'm so stupid, So stupid.
You're not stupid. You allowed yourself to forget for one moment the circumstances of your life and did what you wanted to do. But there's no harm done. Tell the choir master that your aunt doesn't want you to do any extra choir work because you have too much schoolwork.
I don't think he'd believe that, Miriam, since I'm the one who asked him to consider Helen for a solo.
You did that without talking to me?
Well, it just seems so obvious. She loves singing so much.
Torrie, even though I'm not supposed to exist, I am still Hannah's mother. I'd appreciate it if you consulted me in the future about issues like this.
My dear Miriam, I'm so sorry you're upset, but I really think you're making a big fuss about nothing. I think the fact that it's a Christian hymn is what really bothers you.
Hannah is not going to sing that solo.
I defer to you.
But what will I tell the choir master?
Tell him that you realized you have too much schoolwork. Don't mention your aunt.
Sometimes I wish I'd been born a Christian. My life would be so much easier.
Oh, good heavens. I have some shopping to do before dinner. Forgot all about it. Dear heart, come along with me.
No, I don't want to.
All right. I'll be back in a little bit.
You've got to have faith, Hannah. God expects it of us.
Then why doesn't he help us? Why do people hate us so much?
I wish I could tell you. I don't understand it myself.
It's because we killed Jesus.
Hannah, in the first place, the Jews did not kill Jesus. The Romans did. And in the second place, even if people who were Jews killed a man named Jesus 2,000 years ago, what does that have to do with us today? Millions of people have been killed since the world began, but only we, the Jews, are eternally guilty of murder? There's no sense to it.
What about the conspiracy to control the world?
Did Torrie tell you the Jews control the world?
No, somebody at church.
Did I or Grandma or Grandpa ever control anything? All we tried to control was our own lives, and we could barely do that even before the war.
But we must have done something, Mama. We must have. I've been trying to figure it out. You see, first we killed Jesus, and then we had to control the world because everyone was so angry at us for murdering him.
Oh, God, no.
Then we started all the banks and conspiracies and other things.
Stop. Please stop.
And now, finally, the world is sick of us and wants to get rid of us. It all fits together. And Jesus was good, Mama.
Hannah, don't you see the game they're playing with you? First, they drive you to despair because you don't believe in their Jesus. Then, when you've reached the bottom of the pit and cannot go on, they offer him to you for comfort.
Mama, what are you talking about? I don't understand a word you're saying.
You don't understand. I'm trying to explain to you what you are living through, and you don't understand.
Mama, I'm sorry. I get so confused.
Do you want to become a Christian, Hannah?
No, it's just that sometimes it's so hard.
Maybe I should leave.
No, don't leave, Mama. Ever.
Maybe that would be best. Then you could just be...
Mama, what does Aunt Torrie have compared to what we have? Think of all of our holidays. She has hardly any. And Passover is coming up. The best one of them all. We'll have a Seder.
She'll never let us.
Yes, she will. I'll make her let us. It'll be fun for her too.
If you really want to.
I do. More than anything in the world.
The celebration of our flight from slavery.
Mama, remember the Passover when you and Grandma and Aunt Ruthie got a little drunk?
It's not our fault that God demands we drink 3 glasses of wine before dinner.
But this time you giggled and giggled.
Nothing wrong with that. It's a holiday.
And you told dirty jokes.
We did not.
You did once, and I never forgot it. We're going to have a Seder. I know Aunt Torrie will let us.
Let's make a list of everything we need. Huh? Number 1, we'll have to bake some matzah. Oh, if we could only find just 1 egg.
Mama, you know how God sent 10 plagues on the Egyptians when Pharaoh wouldn't let the Jews go? Maybe he could do the same thing to the Nazis.
Yes, if we believe, Hannah, if we really believe.
Bitter herbs, shank bone of lamb.
Lights dim on Hannah, spotlight on Miriam.
All right, Holy One, I admit, all 10 plagues is asking a bit much. But 1 or 2, would that be too much trouble? You did 10 once. Just 1 plague? Don't send frogs. That would bother everyone, not just the Germans. Boils! Ha! Yes, that's it. If every German, and only the Germans, had a big fat boil right in the middle of their faces. Oh, beautiful. Now that would be a sign. Can you hear me, Holy One? We need a sign that you care, that you exist. Otherwise, how can we go on?
Lights fade. Scene 8. Lights up on Miriam sitting at the table painting. Torrie, Elsie, and Hannah are on the stairs outside the front door of the apartment. Torrie is fumbling in her purse. She is speaking very loudly.
Elsie, how nice of you to suggest coming back here after church. Wasn't that nice of Elsie, Helen? Now, where are my keys?
Miriam runs into the bedroom, closes the door. Torrie and Elsie continue to speak from the stairs outside the door.
There they are, Torrie. I can see them from here. They're lying right on top of everything.
Oh, my, yes, there they are, lying right on top of everything, just like Elsie said.
Torrie, just to open the door.
Open the door?
I'm tired of standing here.
Oh, yes, well, open the door.
Torrie, Elsie, and Hannah enter the apartment.
Well, Elsie, here we are.
Why are you yelling?
Oh, I'm just so glad to be home. Sit down. I'll make some tea.
Wasn't that a sermon? Oh,
Yes, it certainly was a sermon.
but that girl who sang the solo, though, she was terrible, wasn't she, Helen?
Oh, she was all right.
Well, you sing better than her. Why don't you tell the choir master that you want to be a soloist? Did I say something wrong?
Well, Helen has too much schoolwork, Elsie.
I don't have time for the extra rehearsal.
Well, it's a crying shame we had to listen to that girl squawk her way through that beautiful hymn.
Elsie notices the drawing Miriam left on the table.
Oh, look. Is this the drawing for me, Helen?
What? Yes.
It's very nice, but not as nice as that beautiful one on the wall.
I'm still working on it.
Oh, you know what? You know what I'd love? I'd like to see you working on it.
Not right now.
Oh, please. That would be so nice to actually see the artist creating something that ends up hanging in my house. What a thrill. Just do a few dabs.
Elsie, leave the poor little lamb alone.
I should have put it away. I don't like to show people things until I'm finished.
I'm not people, Helen. I see you almost every day on the street. I sit next to your auntie in church. I look across the street right into your living room, and you look into mine. Remember the first day you came, we waved to each other from our windows. I wondered who you were. And you turned out to be the wonderful niece who sings and paints. Why, we're almost family. Now come, just sit down and let your friendly old neighbor see an artist at work.
Mrs. Van Nostrand, this painting for you just isn't turning out right. I want you to have this one.
She takes her mother's watercolor down from the wall and hands it to Elsie.
Good heavens, that's your favorite.
I want her to have it.
Why, Helen, I'm touched. I don't know what to say.
Then don't say anything.
It's beautiful. So beautiful. Wait a minute. Didn't you say this is a Rotterdam scene?
Yes.
But it looks exactly like the bridge around the corner.
I don't recognize it at all.
Oh, Torrie, you must walk by this spot 3 times a day.
Oh, well, they must have the same scene in Rotterdam. So what?
But where is this in Rotterdam?
I don't remember. I just used to wander around and paint.
I don't recognize this at all. And I know Rotterdam very well.
No, you don't. You don't know Rotterdam like I do.
Oh, Helen, don't speak that way to Elsie.
I may not know Rotterdam like a native, but I'll bet I know it better than you do, little lamb.
Here's your tea, Elsie.
Thank you, Torrie. The minister really outdid himself today. Don't you agree, Torrie?
Oh, heavens, yes.
What did you think of the sermon, Helen?
Oh, I liked it. I really did.
Did you? I asked because you had such a strange expression on your face at one point.
When was that?
When the minister was talking about the Jews.
That's because I hate them.
Oh, but I thought the communists liked the Jews.
No, they didn't. At least not my parents. Anyway, my parents are gone, so it doesn't matter what they liked. I'm not a communist, and I can't stand the Jews.
Well, you know what I can't stand? Jews who pretend to be Christians just to save their necks. Annie says there are some in our church. What do you think, Torrie?
I've never heard of anything so ridiculous. In any case, it's perfectly all right with me if there are Jews in church.
Even if they're not true believers?
Oh, Elsie, what difference does that make? They need a place to hide.
It makes all the difference in the world. Now, if a Jew is a sincere convert, then I'm all for them. Did you hear that, Helen? All for them. But if they're pretending, why, then they're corrupting the church from within, eating out the very heart of faith like worms in an apple. Oh, yes, that's good. Like worms in an apple. What do you think, Helen?
I think you're absolutely right, Mrs. Van Nostrand.
You see, Torrie, Helen agrees with me.
The idea of a Jew using the church as a hiding place, it's disgusting.
Worms in a beautiful apple. And I would do everything I could to dig that worm right out of the apple. Wouldn't you, Helen?
Yes.
Everything. If I thought a Jew was pretending just to save her skin.
Can't we talk about something else? Oh, well, do you think this rain will ever...
I don't want to talk about the weather, do we, Helen?
No.
The little communist girl from Rotterdam who paints pictures that look just like Amsterdam wants to talk about the problem of Jews pretending to be Christians in our church.
That's right.
You two are both giving me a headache.
Annie says she can tell a Jew anywhere. Well, I can't do that, but I can certainly tell a Jew in church.
You can?
How?
By the way they sing. You see, True Christians always sing with such joy, whereas when a Jew sings, there's always something sad about it. I don't know why. They're just miserable people, I suppose.
Elsie, this is absolute nonsense.
No, it isn't. For instance, I'm sorry to say that there are one or two people in the choir who look very sad when they sing.
Who?
Who?
Well, I won't say, at least not now. But that little girl who sang the solo, even though she was dreadful, I could see the joy shining in her eyes. No doubt she was a Christian. You know, Helen, I would love to hear that hymn done justice. You've already been so nice to me today, giving me the painting. Would you mind terribly singing that hymn right now?
I'd love to.
Oh, yes. What a lovely idea.
Hannah sings.
My life goes on in endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, though far off hymn that brings a new creation. Above the tumult and the strife, I hear its music ringing. It sounds an echo in my soul. How can I keep from singing?
Oh, yes. Very satisfying. Right down to my toes.
Thank you, Helen. If I had ever thought you were a Jew, I'd know by the way you just sang that you've really taken Jesus into your heart right now.
Mrs. Van Nostrand, that's the best compliment you could ever give me.
Well, I've got to be going. See you in church next Sunday and every Sunday.
Of course, Elsie. Goodbye.
Bye.
Every Sunday. What a strange thing to say. I don't know what's gotten into her.
Mama, you can come out now. She knows.
Are you sure?
Oh, don't be silly, dear heart.
She does.
Elsie's just a busybody. Don't you worry about her.
She knows. She knows. And Mama, I gave her your favorite painting. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Lights fade. Scene 9. Miriam and Hannah are setting the table for a festive meal. Torrie sits quietly, lost in her thoughts.
We're almost ready to sit down for Seder. Freedom! Today I'm free to celebrate Passover with you and Torrie. Oh, God is good. Let's see. Matzah? Well, a cracker anyhow. Shank bone?
Supposed to be lamb, but we're very happy to settle for a chicken bone that I found in the garbage next door.
Oh, are you sure this is a good idea, Miriam?
Torrie, you said it yourself that it's the night before Easter and everyone would be home cooking and cleaning for a party tomorrow, especially Mrs. Van Nostrand.
But is this the right thing to do right before Easter?
If Mrs. Van Nostrand comes over, we'll throw everything in the back of the closet with Mama.
But if I'm stuck there long enough, I'll eat it, I promise you.
Oh, well, really now. I suppose that's not so. Well, all right.
Green herbs.
I wish we had an egg. Oh, well.
Oh, Aunt Torrie, I know you have 3 hard-boiled eggs hidden away.
You saw me hide them.
Well, it was hard not to see the way you did it.
I'm so bad at these things.
Could we please, please, please have the eggs now to put on the Seder plate?
Well, those are supposed to be eggs for the Easter presents tomorrow. Oh, but if it'll make you happy.
Oh, thank you, Torrie. I appreciate this.
Oh, well, really, here you are.
Torrie hands the eggs to Hannah.
All right. We're ready to begin.
They all sit at the table.
Thou hast given us, O Lord our God, love this day, the holiday of freedom, a memorial to the outgoing from Egypt. Blessed art thou, Lord our God, King of the universe, who hast permitted us to live and reach this time. Amen. Hannah, you do the next part.
This is the poor bread which our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. Let anyone who is hungry come in and eat. Let anyone who...
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I cannot go on with this.
What's wrong?
It's just...
Do you want your eggs back?
Well, this is the holiday where your people crucified my savior, and I don't want it in my house. I'm very sorry. I've tried my best to be hospitable. You both know that, but this is just going too far. During Passover 2,000 years ago, you murdered the Son of God, and yes, I want my eggs back.
She takes the eggs off the plate and puts them back in the cupboard. Miriam and Hannah sit in stunned silence.
But, Aunt Torrie, if people who were Jews killed a man named Jesus 2,000 years ago, what does that have to do with us today?
I can't believe what you're saying. A man named Jesus? Is that all he is to you? After all we've talked about?
No, of course not.
Come on, Hannah. We can do Seder without Torrie and her eggs.
Miriam lifts up the plate with the cracker.
This year we are here. Next year we shall be in the land of Israel. This year we are slaves. Next year we shall be a free people.
Mama, Aunt Torrie says she doesn't want this in her home.
This is my home too. Isn't that what you said one time, Torrie? I have no home. Come on, Hannah. This is your favorite holiday.
Helen, dear heart, remember the love of Christ who died for your sins.
Once in our history, we made a journey from slavery to freedom. We are commanded to remember it. Hannah, please do this with me.
Please do this with you. Please do that with Aunt Torrie. Please sing a hymn. Sing a Jewish song. Please wear a cross. Please remember who I am. Please forget everything I've ever learned. Hannah, Helen, Hannah, and then Mrs. Van Nostrand. If she doesn't believe me, she'll report me. She told me so. I hope she does.
Hannah, how can you say that?
I just want it to be over, Mama. I almost threw myself in the canal the other day. Mama, please. Who am I?
Oh, my darling Hannah. What are we doing to you? What is wrong with me? Now calm down. Calm down. It's all right. You can't go on like this. I can see that. It's all right. I'm sorry I didn't see it before. I'm so sorry. Will you please forgive me? Listen, Hannah, nothing is more important than your survival. I love you far more than I love God. I release you from your faith as of this moment.
Miriam takes a wine glass from the table, throws it on the floor, and smashes it with her foot.
There. As this glass is broken, so are your ties to Judaism. You're free. Free to be a Christian, Helen. I can't stay here any longer. Mika has to find me another place right away. She'll take me away.
No.
Oh, Miriam, I'm so sorry. I don't want to take your daughter from you. If only you could open your heart to our Savior. Well, the gospel says, and a little child shall lead them. Helen is leading you if you would only follow. If you will let him, Jesus can bring you a peace you have never known.
Jesus? His mother should have strangled him in his cradle. Yes, the Jews would have been better off if Jesus and Hitler had been strangled in their cradles. I spit on your Jesus.
Lights dim on Hannah and Torrie. Spotlight on Miriam, who looks up at God.
And what about you, huh? What good are you? I'd like to spit on you, too. But I don't dare. As long as she's alive, I'm trapped in believing, because that's the only power I've got left. You'd better take care of her. If she doesn't survive, that's the end between you and me. Do you hear me? That would be the end.
Lights fade. Scene 10. All three are sitting silently. Miriam has her coat on, a suitcase by her side. The doorbell rings. Torrie goes to look out the window in the living room. She returns.
It's Mika. I have a few things to discuss with her, so we'll be up the stairs in a few minutes.
She exits to answer the door.
I'm going outside. I can't believe it. I almost feel like I'm going on vacation. I have something I want to give you. My special shawl.
Keep it safe for you until we're together again.
No, don't keep it safe. Wear it. Use it. All my love for you is in it.
And Papa's love, too.
Yes. Wear it every day if you want. Wear it to school or to church. Wear it right now.
Hannah puts on the shawl.
Oh dear, it seems there's a problem.
Miriam, your hiding place fell through. If you leave now, I can only take you to my room for a few days. I want you to stay here a little while longer.
No, it is not possible.
Miss Van Toom?
Oh, well, you see, Miss Rose, we've had some difficulties. But of course, if Miriam needs to stay.
Miriam, I have a tiny room in my landlady's house. You'd have to be totally quiet. You couldn't use the bathroom. You'd be almost entirely alone. I'm either at my job or doing this work.
Is there a window? Could I see the sky?
You could see a brick wall with ivy.
That's enough.
Why can't you stay here just a few more days?
It's necessary that I leave. Do you understand, Mika? Necessary.
Yes, I understand.
Mama, you can't leave.
Dear heart, we've already talked this over, and we all agreed this is the best thing to do all around.
Yes, but only if Mama had a good place to go. She has to stay here until Mika finds one for her.
Hannah, Helen, please don't.
Dear heart, we must learn to trust in God's mercy. Let's pray for her safety right now. Come on, dear heart. 2 voices are better than 1.
No, I don't want to pray now. I want Mama to stay.
Now listen, Hannah, Helen. I cannot stay in this house any longer. Torrie is right. Now is the time to have faith.
Mika, why can't you find anything for Mama?
Don't worry, we'll find a place soon.
How can people be so cowardly?
There are all kinds of people in the world. In my work, I mostly meet the few brave ones like your Aunt Torrie.
But she's not my real aunt.
Oh, Helen, how can you say that?
If she were your real aunt, she'd be useless to you because she'd be Jewish. I'm useless too. Torrie is better than a real aunt or mother because she's Christian. She loves you, and she's risking her life for you.
I don't care. I'm going with you.
No, you're not.
Come on, Mama.
Hannah starts for the door. Mika grabs her and forces her into the chair.
Helen, sit down.
Let go of me!
Mika slaps Hannah.
Your mother has made this decision to leave. She's leaving with your Aunt Torrie, and you're going to stay here until she comes back for you. And you really don't have any say in this at all. Do you understand? Say yes.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I slapped you. Miriam, I had to.
She's never been hit before. Helen, it's time to...
Go on! Just sneak out the door like a coward.
Oh, now, dear heart, this isn't necessary.
Leave me here because you don't have the courage to live like me. You always told me we would stick together, but you lied. So I don't care what happens to you. I'm one of the strong ones. I'm going to be saved because I believe in Jesus. Just sneak out of here, you deserter. You weak, sneaking, lying, dirty Jew.
Hannah. Helen. Hannah. Listen. Remember what I say to you now. I'm leaving because it's the best thing I can do for you. I hope you will understand that someday. And remember this. I want you to do whatever you need to survive. Whatever is necessary, including breaking any of the 10 Commandments. Any of them. You have a right even to kill if it's to save your own life. You must survive because you're going to make a special contribution to this world. I don't know what that is yet, but I know it's true. I love you. I will always be with you in my heart. I will survive and I will come back for you. Never doubt that. I forgive you completely for everything you have done and everything you might do in the future. I understand and forgive.
Miriam, I'm so sorry. Helen can't possibly mean what she's saying.
We both love her. That's the only thing that matters.
Have faith, Miriam.
I have faith in you. Torrie, you are my daughter's savior, not Jesus. Goodbye.
Miriam says a blessing over Hannah.
May God bless you and keep you, shine his countenance upon you, and bring you peace. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Let's go, Mika.
I hate her. I hate her. I hate her.
Oh, shh. Don't say such things about your mother. Come here, little lamb.
I'm not like her.
No, you're not. I saw that from the first moment you both walked in.
You did?
Certainly. Oh, Ellen. I'm so glad the Lord Jesus sent you to me.
Mama! Mama!
The lights fade as Torrie cradles the sobbing Hannah in her arms. End of play.